Last but certainly not least, I'm Shawn Dolan. I'm the president of Virtual Technologies, and I'm here to talk to you today about a product called the Digital Opacity Compliance System, second generation, and it's a public access, if you will, partner system called Spot the Smoke. And I was working years ago about for the Department of Defense, and we were determining how dust would affect troop strength in various different parts of the world. And so I got to working with that, and I got to thinking, you know, I wonder just how do they do this? And I was watching late night TV, and there was this old Buddy Hackett comedy skit going on. Old Buddy Hackett stands up there, and he's talking about how they're measuring, trying to clean up the air in Burbank, and he says, you know, you can't trust air you can't see. And I was like, that seems kind of weird. I wonder how they really do manage that today. So I got to looking into it. And what I found out was that the way visible emissions are regulated today in 2014 is humans go to school every 6 months, they get their eyeballs calibrated, they become methadone certified, they go out, they look, they say that's about 20% opacity, they write it down on a piece of paper, and millions of dollars are adjudicated over that number written on that piece of paper on an annual basis here in the United States. I said, this is crazy, there's got to be a better way. So we were fortunate to get a grant from a thing called the Environmental Security Technology Certification Program with the Department of Defense in 2006, and we began developing the Digital Opacity Compliance System, which effectively takes a digital camera, allows you to take an image of that particular emission, process that through a cloud-based software system, and determine the opacity of that particular emission. I'll talk a little bit more about the company, just so we can follow the format. We're 100% owned by the two founding partners. I'm one of them. We've incorporated in 2006. We have Virtual Technologies. We're a hub zone enterprise, so we get priority from the GSA type pricing. We're out of Santa Cruz County. There's 6 people on our team right now, and we have a series of various affiliates, if you will, Tetra Tech and CH2 and Hill, and big environmental companies that help to promote our product. But the point that I really want to make on this slide is that air pollution, according to the World Health Organization, is the #1 killer of the human population. And it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse. The vast majority of that air pollution is really tied to visible emissions and the regulations on visible emissions. What's our mission? To empower the public, quantify and identify air pollution sources, provide abatement, recommendations, and process improvement to get rid of them. So let's talk a little bit about our technology. DOCS2 was tested and was servicing customers in 2011. It is cloud-based and runs on a mobile platform, so it operates off of an Android phone, off of a tablet, off of an Apple, whatever device the person may have in the field, snap a picture, send it up to the cloud, and get it analyzed and be able to determine the opacity. Human observation, obviously very subjective. You can't reproduce it. You can't know really whether the person was influenced because his permit said 20% was as high as he could go, or whether he actually witnessed a 20% opacity flume. With digital cameras, it's very analytical, it's very reproducible, and most important, it's repeatable, and it's very defendable in the court of law. Picture says 1,000 words. But one of the things we found out, because you're dealing with regulatory issues, is that you can't just say the product works. You have to have some type of performance standard. So we started off and we went to ASTM, and we got a consensus-based standard called ASTM B7520, promulgated and approved in 2009, and our product obviously immediately certified to that standard. But you can't use an ASTM standard in the United States because the EPA controls that. And so now we had to get the EPA to decide that the ASTM standard was good enough. And with enough more testing and more testing and more testing, we finally got alternative method 082 approved as a broadly applicable standard through the CFR, February 2012. So now it's an improved product and has standards based and is completely compliant with these. And you can see some of the customers that we picked up along the way, but some very innovative people in the industrial world, as well as some of the big regulators. Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection was a big driver. California Resources Board, Bay Area Air Quality Management District, and a number of, we say, movers and shakers. And the one that I'm most proud of now is EPA Region 5, who is out writing citations using DOCS2 today. As a matter of fact, I just got an email that says we've got big violation, and we're gonna have fun with it. The other thing that we won was the Arizona Governor's Award, and that was a big step. So talking about what is virtual technologies, we're currently debt-free. We own all of our patents and our technologies and our intellectual property. This is a much less expensive means of being able to provide accountability, if you will, for visible emissions. But the biggest issue is that visible emission methodology is written into permits, and changing those permits is a big problem. So what we ended up doing was we spun off a thing we call Spot the Smoke, which is a free application that is distributed throughout the, anybody can log onto our website, sign up for an account, start sending in stuff. What that does is it raises public awareness. Raises public awareness, puts pressure on the regulators, puts pressure on the industry, and as a result, we're getting permits changed much, much faster. And we announced Spot the Smoke at the National Ambient Air Quality Conference this year, and 5,000 users signed up for it within a month. So it is something that people are concerned with, and we're moving on. What's our ability to deliver? Let our customers speak for themselves, 100% repeat customers since 2006. And what are we asking for? Just more networking. We want to saturate the market by 2020 and move all the eyeballs into cameras. And we want to become part of the Smart Cities Network so that we can empower the public. And there is an offering out at this time for an equity position in virtual technologies if anybody's interested.